It's your Monday upgrade, because The View is live. G fail? The president lashes out at American allies and backs out of a joint agreement. How will this impact tomorrow's summit with Kim Jong-un? Christopher Plummer reveals how he's pushing boundaries on the big screen after his Oscar nod for taking over disgraced actor Kevin Spacey's role. Plus, a brand new Oprah edition of View Your Deal. And Anna Navarro's back to guest co-host. Let's light up Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
Here today, but in her stead, we are welcoming the fabulous Anna Navarro back.
Yes.
So this photograph of world leaders from the G7 summit kind of captures the mood of how it went. The guy in the White House showed up late, left early, slammed our allies, and refused to sign a joint agreement that his own people helped write. So the question is, why go? I mean, we pay for the fuel and everything, but, you know, if you're not going to do anything, why did you go?
Well, State of the Union with Jake Tapper, Kudlow, who is his advisor and was working on this for so long, said that Trump did attend in good faith, but that after Justin Trudeau said that he was insulted by some of the things that the president said, that in reaction to that statement, that Trump then sort of started tweeting out, you know, all these things and disparaging statements against our allies. I fear that we have a president that is so temperamental, that can't seem to control himself, that true diplomacy, he's probably incapable of doing. I mean, why would you throw all that work away because you're reacting to something that someone says?
Well, I was really troubled by some of the things that his advisor said and that he said yesterday. We called the Prime Minister of Canada, the United States, the President of the United States, his advisors called him weak, dishonest, a backstabber. I mean, just, you know, the most... Oh, and that there was a special place in hell for Justin Trudeau. I thought that was just so personal, ad hominem attacks against the Prime Minister of our neighbor. I mean, we're not talking Gaddafi or Castro or Ortega. We are talking Canada.
Well, and I think it gets really weedsy when you get into the economics of the tariffs, because I tried to look into it to see, was there a point? Are we getting, as Trump would say, screwed by something? So I tried to look in. The problem here, for me, the biggest problem was the optics. So you have him going to this summit and pretty much flipping a middle finger to many allies that we had, trade things. Then he says, why isn't Russia here?
Yeah.
And then he flies to meet with Kim Jong-un. So you look at all of this, and even if there was a point, a campaign promise buried in there, very hard to see when the optics of all of this end up looking like he's forgotten where we're supposed to hold hands. He started punching. So...
Yeah, I mean, I was actually messaging our executive producer yesterday because I have been so upset, deeply upset over the idea that we would possibly let Russia back into the G8, G7. I think people need to understand that in 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea, which is part of the Ukraine, it was the first violation of a European country's border since World War II. And they are Putin is using aggression as a bloodlust for the Soviet Union. He is going to try and expand into Europe in every way possible and undermine democracy. And we as Americans in the G7, we with our allies, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, the point of this is that we do not agree. We do not stand for tyranny, for dictatorship, for killing journalists, for killing people who speak out. And I implore everyone, because I think we need a little history lesson, maybe our president does too, in 2014 to look at the opposition protests in 2014 in Kiev. Ukraine does not want to be part of Putin's regime. They want freedom. They want democracy. So do we as Americans, do we still believe in freedom and democracy in Europe? Or do we believe in tyranny and dictatorships where you can just kill people at any moment? And for me, I'm not seeing a lot of leadership in the Republican Party, and I don't know when I came from Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, to now this acceptance of dictatorship. And I will say, Ben Sass said, Putin is not our friend, and he's not the president's buddy. He's a thug using Soviet-style aggression to wage a shadow war against America, and our leaders should act like it.
Well, in 2014, he said, I will not do this. I will not violate international law and go into Crimea. Why invite him to any agreement? Because you can't trust him. He promises, he signs things.
Can I read something that your dad said?
Yeah.
To our allies, bipartisan majorities of Americans remain pro-free trade, pro-globalization, and supportive of alliances.
Alliances.
Yeah,
70 years of shared values. Americans stand with you, even if our president doesn't.
Yeah.
And you see, I agree with the sentiment that John is expressing there, but I'm not sure that's true anymore, that a bipartisan majority of, certainly not a majority of Republicans, and if they do, they are standing there or they are sitting there in silent complicity, to your point, because they're not speaking out. I was scrolling through the Twitter feeds of some of the major leaders in foreign policy in the U.S. Senate, and practically none of them said boo about the fact that we are, embracing Putin and antagonizing our allies. And as far as the, you were talking about the actual tariff issue, we have a trade surplus of billions and billions of dollars with Canada.
8.4
we have
billion
a trade deficit with Russia.
Yeah, it's just, it's bizarre to me because, again, and I think, Anna, you and I mean, when you are raised and bred on a certain set of values that you commit to and love, and it is the way that I view the world. I believe in freedom on a very basic level. I believe in freedom internationally. And the fact that we would somehow be okay or even insinuate that we are not going to be pro-democracy in Europe because we have some kind of pact or Trump has some kind of deal with Putin, it is a bizarro universe for me to live in. And it is petrifying going forward in our role globally and what it means for the expansion. Putin is getting everything he wants. He's probably laughing his face off, and he's getting more and more powerful. And why did we even engage in the Cold War?
It's closer to home than democracy in Crimea.
Yes.
It's democracy in the United States. He hacked our elections. And he tried to do the same in France. And he tried to do the same, in Germany. So this is about our domestic politics.
Isn't the question why? Why is Trump beholden to Putin? Why? That's the question that we all need to be asking ourselves.
I agree with that, but I also think that we can't. It's exhausting for me because, again, when you're traditionally, up until 2 years ago, if you're a conservative, you traditionally believe X, Y, and Z in regards to foreign policy, and all of a sudden it's shifting, and I'm not shifting. So when we sit here as the Republicans on the table, like, I can't change the worldview I was raised on and I believe in.
But you know what? Many folks in your party seem to be able to, and that's the question you both are asking.
Foreign policy,
and it is a very important question. This is not going anywhere because, the bigger picture is what does it mean for us as a nation and who we think we are as opposed to who we are now being told we are. We're going to keep talking about it. We'll be right back.
Later, De Niro disses Donald. The Tony crowd goes wild after the Oscar winner curses out the president. Does this just deepen the divide in America?
Come on!
You know this is the only place in daytime dishing out the hottest topics.
We try to let y'all know what's happening as we're seeing it.
It's okay to be strong and angry. I'd rather be strong than sweet.
Nailed it.
That's my opening statement if I'm a prosecutor.
Boom, case made. I'm sick of it.
She's sick of it!
So grab your phone and join the conversation.
We don't shy away from hard things on this show.
Yes! Yes! And don't miss The View on ABC. Still ahead.
Thought you were a Buddhist. Oh, I am. But you bring out the right-wing Christian in me.
Oscar winner Christopher Plummer. And feel the Oprah effect on View Your Deal.
Before we we get into our next subject, I want to show you the size of the writing on this card. This card is like, the writing is this big. I was like, can't read this here. Just let y'all know. I know how to read, I just can't read this. So, you know who said that he may pardon boxing champ Muhammad Ali, who actually doesn't need a pardon because his conviction for refusing to serve in Vietnam was overturned in 1971 when the courts upheld that he was a conscientious objector based on his religious beliefs. Now, Ali's ex-wife suggested that he pardon the NFL players who are kneeling instead, since they are very much acting in the same spirit of Ali. But I mean, we say this often. We sort of half-jokingly say, you know, maybe he's got to read the history, or maybe he should know the history. Is it getting to be like, read the history? Is it now no longer like friendly and sweet? Is it now, hey, do your job?
Well, we've often said that this pardon power, he considers it his superpower, right? He goes like this and somebody is pardoned. And so he likes to do it without using the office of pardon. He likes to do it without looking through the history, without using his advisors. And so I think it kind of popped up in his head like, wow, I also pardoned the other boxer, Jack Johnson. So let me pardon Ali too. You know, I'll get some good press. And I think that's how he sort of runs this country, kind of by the seat of his pants.
Look
and
at hypocrisy. He avoided wars and drafts and service because of bone spurs.
The 5-time deferment.
Muhammad Ali at least had a conscientious reason that he had thought through as to why he wasn't going to.
Well, but you know, in addition to reading history, he might want to read the obituaries. It'd be nice if he was going to pardon somebody that was alive. I kind of feel like, you know, Trump has realized that this is something he can do all by himself, which is not that many things a president can do, and he's become the Oprah of pardons. You get a pardon, and you get a pardon. Everybody in the audience gets a pardon.
He likes that.
You know?
He likes
I mean, it's led to
some
insanity.
There is some.
Cable news has become the place where people go and plead their case for whatever. It's like the public square. It's insane.
Well, somebody wrote, I guess, in some Chicago paper that this is his way of trying to hook black people in.
Maybe.
Because he's
that was the Detroit.
Because he's pardoned some black people. It's kind of like putting Ben Carson in charge of housing because he passed a housing project once. You know, it's like, it's kind of odd. But I think that, you know, things that would, I don't know, maybe make black people happier than, I don't know, these pardons is maybe some insight as to how education should actually be run, and putting someone in charge that would actually make education better. Or, you know,
or dealing with police brutality, perhaps.
Well,
that would be.
Or even
prison reform.
You know,
but he is going forward with prison reform. I mean, I think Jared Kushner, even Van Jones himself, I believe, met with Jared Kushner, and obviously with the pardoning of Alice Marie Johnson. I don't think any issue, by the way, I take such offense at the idea that any issue was I hate identity politics in general, as you know. I don't think anyone is sort of dumb enough to be like, well, you pardoned Jack Johnson, so we're cool now, and I don't have any other issues with anything else. But I will say, if he takes on any issues, specifically like prison reform, it will be interesting to see if anyone responds in any way, because it's not, it's really not the issue I thought he would be tackling at this point.
But it is an issue where he can get some traction, I'm sure he believes. But, and perhaps no, I won't even make the joke. I don't even want to do it.
Prison reform, justice reform is actually one where there is bipartisan agreement. It's one in Congress. It's one where there could actually be action taken and something done.
Well,
and I think Alice Johnson, you know, her case highlighted for so many people just the injustice, and it is something that predominantly affects minority communities. There are people in jail for most or rest of their lives because of first offenses, nonviolence, and you know, it's something that should be addressed.
Yes, it should be addressed, and if he actually does it, that would be wonderful. But that's not a hook to get black folks behind you. I'm just saying, that was my point, is that's not what it's going to take. It's going to take a little more than that. But if you can help fix this, actually it's going to be Jared, so why am I talking to you? We'll be right back. were the Tony Awards, and one of the biggest rounds of applause came when Robert De Niro, went off script and made a 2-word critique of the guy in the White House. Take a look. So, the Tony crowd seemed to be very happy about it, but a lot of people don't like it when folks get political at award shows.
You see, I thought that crowd was just full of Canadians.
I laughed at the joke Josh Groban made after that. He and Sarah Bareilles, who were hosting, came out in opposite the outfits of the other person, and he said, after De Niro, CBS told us to do something drastic.
I didn't care for the choice of language. I know it was bleeped out, but once I heard about it, I don't know. I thought it was a bit crass. But people are feeling strongly about politics today, you know, and I think rightfully so. And if that is the way De Niro chose to express that, and that is the way the crowd chose to receive it. I mean, this is still America. You get to say what you want to say. It's, you know, it's constitutional. And so I appreciated that he felt strongly enough to make that statement.
I thought it was gross, and I think that when talking about how Trump is degrading our national discourse with his language, this is not the way to combat Trump. It only helps him. When people like me, and clearly I have so many issues with Trump, as everyone knows, when I'm like, oh, this is not the way to combat this. You had Bill Maher over the weekend saying, I think one way you get rid of Trump is crashing the economy, so please bring on the recession. Obviously, Samantha Bee's comments last week about Ivanka Trump, it rallies, it's like a siren song for the right. Turn on Fox News right now. I'm sure this is just on repeat. I'm telling you, it gets very tribal, and this is not the way to combat it. If he had something to say about Trump, he's an eloquent, a well-known actor. I'm sure he could say a lot of things about democracy and freedom, much like we did at the top of the show, that would have been a lot more effective.
All right. Well, the one Tony highlight that everybody could agree on is when the survivors of the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, took to the stage to perform "One Season of Love." Watch. Yeah. So, drama teacher Melody Hersfeld got the Excellence in Theater Education Award last night, and she's the teacher who hid 60 students and saved their life at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. So kudos to you. We'll be right back. Well, you know, we know some folks of Puerto Rican blood, and maybe somebody at the table, I don't know, might have been an ambassadress in the Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday. So there she is. She was in the Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday.
It was like a dream come true. I mean, I've been going to that parade with my grandma, Virginia Romero, who passed away, as you all know, a few years ago. Since I was a kid, when I couldn't go, I would watch it on television, and the thought that I would be honored as an ambassador representing the community was, I mean, I was so overwhelmed.
I just want to move your thing so they get that it's not on your mic.
Thank you.
I want to make sure they hear your
Speech. So
You
I
know
was
what?
so overwhelmed.
You know what? Look.
Should I take it off?
No,
don't take it off.
Keep talking.
So I was so overwhelmed by it, and my mom and my aunt were in the car with me, and they said that my grandmother would have been so proud. And it was really part protest also, this parade. It was part protest, part memorial, part pep rally. There were a lot of people with signs, especially my friend Ruben Diaz, who's the Bronx Borough president. He had a sign that said 4,645, which is the number of people that died during Hurricane Maria.
Not 64.
Not 64. And it said, remember, register, resist. And then there was another woman that had this sign that said, Puerto Rican Americans moving to Florida will be able to vote for the President of the United States in 2020. So it was really a moment that the community came together, and I'm just really honored to have experienced this.
135,000 Puerto Ricans have moved to Florida, my home state, the state where I live.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to be a U.S. citizen, which Puerto Ricans are from the day they are born.
Yes.
You've got to register to vote, and then you've got to vote. So I just want to remind my Puerto Rican friends, Boricuas, July 30th is the deadline to be able to vote in the primaries. October 9th is the deadline to register to vote, to be able to vote in the generals. Vote, vote.
Yes.
You know what? Being a U.S. citizen has a lot of rights and privileges.
Yes.
Let me tell you, baby, they can take those paper towel rolls and they can help clean this mess up.
And they can't vote on Puerto Rico. So the fact that they are here, please,
No. They can vote in Puerto Rico. They can't vote for president.
For the president, exactly.
Right, but 2018 is around the corner.
Yes.
Yeah. 2020, we can
For
wait
those
for
people that are
right. They can
that
make
are
a
gonna be here.
difference
So,
in
mi
Florida
gente,
right now.
vote.
So actually, that goes for everybody.
Yeah.
It goes for everybody. You know? Regardless of where you stand, it's a gift when you look at other countries and you see that people don't have a free voice. You have a free voice. My God, don't blow it.
Yeah.
Don't blow it.
Yeah.
And before we go, we're also once again sending our hearts out to the family of Anthony Bourdain, who, as you know, took his own life on Friday, apparently.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We'll come back and start with everybody else.
Oscar winner Christopher Plummer talks about his lifetime of unforgettable roles and how he even ended up in the summer blockbuster Deadpool 2. This week, can you even handle all the View's hot topics?
Yes, we can.
And just look who's coming to hang with the ladies. John Hamm, Kelly Preston, Vanessa Kirby, Holly Hunter, Greg T. Nelson, and Ed Helms.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's all this week on The View.
Look, he's been in over 100 movies and he's an Oscar winner. Christopher Plummer is still at the top of his game. He snagged an Oscar nod for his role in All the Money in the World, and now he's starring in the wonderful new movie Boundaries. Please welcome one of the all-time greats, Christopher Plummer.
Gotta go home now.
Good to see you.
Great to see you. I haven't seen you for ages.
I know.
We met. We did meet, I think.
We did.
Yes, and it was at Westport Country Playhouse, and you were doing your one-woman show, which was so fantastic.
Oh. Well,
would you care to do it now?
No, but I got something to talk to you about later on. So now, you were nominated for an Oscar for All the Money in the World. You won an Oscar for Beginners in 2012. You're brilliant in the new film. My God, you're just 88. I mean, What are you doing? What do you make of all of this right now?
Well, my mother said that I would be successful, but much later on in life. I didn't know she was talking about the grave. It just seems so fortunate that every 10 years is another career. It's incredible. Wow. I feel like I'm starting all over again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm...
We love
You know, Mr. Plummer, your great-grandfather was the Canadian Prime Minister, and your mother worked for a dean at McGill University. You grew up outside of Montreal. You seem like you come from a very politically active family. Where did your interest in acting come from?
Well, to get away from all that. No, it was great because my great-grandfather was Canada's third Prime Minister. It was that's very way back in the ancient days. And I grew up very spoiled. And then, of course, I had to find the anger that is necessary to be an artist, or the struggle that is absolutely essential. And I had to work backwards. It wasn't rags to riches. It was riches to rags.
And early in your career, you did a lot of television, but that was when all television was live television, which is a different beast. Wow. We know that here. Do you have any funny stories of things that just had to play out live?
Yes, a lot rather unprintable, rather like Robert De Niro. But I did have one. We were doing Robert Montgomery Presents, which was a half-hour deal.
It's Elizabeth Montgomery's father, Bewitched.
That's right.
Right.
And Vivica Lindfors, who was a beautiful Swedish actress, and myself were playing the two. I was playing the Archduke Rudolph of Habsburg, and she was playing my mistress. And we were supposed to meet in the little chalet for our suicide pact. We take each other's lives. That was the love thing. So the night of the show, I can't find the entrance anywhere. And I know she's pacing up and down waiting for me, and I don't know where, and I'm dressed in my full medals, and there's no sort of assistant or floor walker, or whatever you call him, to guide me to the, and I know I'm on, and she's pacing up and down, there's no dialogue, she's waiting for me. I finally see a ray of light, and I make for it, and I just ducked, and I pushed my way through, and I'd come through the fireplace.
Live television. Did you stay in character? How do you save that?
Exactly, I didn't.
Live TV.
Oh my God! But all in full medals too. That's incredible.
Well, this year, Whoopi already said you're 88. You became the oldest actor to be nominated for an Oscar for your role as J. Paul Getty in All the Money in the World. And you replaced Kevin Spacey in that role amidst the assault and harassment accusations against him. What was it like to step into a role that someone else had already done?
No, that happens all the time in the theater. It's in the movie world that it never happens. Yeah. And they all say, oh my God, what? I said, listen, I've been replaced, and I've replaced many times in my career, for God's sake. It happens in an emergency, you know, in the theater. You go on for somebody. Yeah. It's usually called an understudy.
Oh, well, true. And you did
I was not
well.
Kevin Spacey's understudy.
Well,
That's for sure.
I have to ask you about this, because you are fantastic in this new movie, Boundaries. Now, Vera Farmiga plays your daughter, and there are great cameos by Christopher Lloyd and Peter Fonda. And you play Jack Giacone. He's a father, grandfather, and a little bit of a troublemaker. Did you like playing a little bit of a troublemaker?
Oh, no, I love playing troublemakers, too, just like you do. I mean, they're so much more interesting than goody two-shoes.
Yes.
And I haven't played a dope peddler before.
That's right. Yes, he sells weed, and he's been thrown out of the home that he's living in because he's been selling the other people who live there weep. So, we have a clip. Laura freaks out when she finds out that her father and son have been keeping a secret from her. Am I supposed to be doing all of this? Take a look.
Doing it terribly.
Pick up the weed. Pick up the weed.
Pick up the weed.
Okay. Well, we can't let you leave without bringing up.
Oh, I'm supposed to leave now?
Well, no, we aren't playing you out yet, unless you want to come through the fireplace back there. But we have to talk about The Sound of Music. There'll always be.
Why do you have to?
For every one of us, it holds such a special place. When you look back at it now, do you understand why all of us love it?
Yes, I guess I do. I put myself aside because I didn't like it terribly much. I didn't enjoy my performance, if it could be called a performance.
No, it was great. Come on. It was great. But you're not going to get to hear the rest of this story because we have to say goodbye to Christopher Plummer because the time is up. But the new film Boundaries hits. I know. But the new movie Boundaries hits theaters in New York and LA on June 22nd. Go see this. You will not be sorry. Nationwide soon. We'll be right back.
Next, it's the Big O on View Your Deal. We partnered with vendors for at least half off Oprah Mag's summer batch of favorite things.
When it has Oprah's seal of approval, because we partnered with vendors for at least half off some of O Magazine's latest batch of favorite things while supplies last. Here to show them off, welcome back Creative Director of O Magazine, Adam Glassman.
Hello. Good morning. You match Oprah today.
That's exactly what I was
that.
trying to do.
Yes, I like that. Okay, summer's upon us. Swimsuit season's upon us. It is a traumatic experience.
It is.
Shopping for one. But Mazu swimwear is brilliant. It is designed for real bodies. It starts at size 8. It goes up to size 24.
Oh,
It's totally fantastic, really fashionable, great colors. This is the genius thing. There's tummy control. There's built-in bra cups. There's side contouring, and you can mix and match. So if you're a different size on the bottom
which
or
everyone
top,
is.
I know. Really ingenious, really proud of bringing this here. Let me tell you about the pricing.
Tell me about the pricing, Adam.
Normally it goes up to $106. Today the deal is going to be $22.50 to $48. It's hard to get a swimsuit for $48.
You cannot get one,
You're going to save 55%. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And towels to go with our bathing suits.
Okay, this is more than a towel. This is ingenious. No, this is ingenious. I wish I invented it. It's called a simple sarong. Invented by a mom who was tired of taking a towel, wrapping it around her waist and having it fun. No,
it never stays.
She put 2 buttonholes, 8 buttonholes rather, and 2 buttons. So no matter where you put it, it fits secure on your waist.
But how much is it?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you the price. Normally they're $54. Today they're going to be $24 to $27.
So cute.
Okay.
This is what I had my eye on. What is this bag?
This is from the Great Bag Company, and they are great bags. You could wear it as a tote.
Yeah.
You could carry it to a lunch.
Why
you could
are
use
they
it as a beach
plastic?
tote. It's a great, great material. Look at this. These exquisite details are chiseled right into this, so it looks like a real leather bag.
You have me at the color, yeah.
The colors are great. I'm telling you, you're going to carry this bag, and people are going to say, where'd you get that bag?
From Oprah. Why?
Okay.
So how much are they?
Normally they're $120. You're going to catch this one. Today they're going to be $48 with free shipping. Yep. That is 60% off.
That's amazing. Well,
I
the
know.
free shipping will get me
The
on
free
anything.
shipping, I know, is genius. Speaking of great bags.
Okay.
These are for stylish men in your life or anyone that needs a great weekender. 2 different styles. This is a vegan leather one down here. This is a canvas one with this sporty stripe. They all have these removable shoulder straps. They're totally great. You can go to the gym with this, go away for weekends with this.
You'll get sweat on
every
it.
day. No, they're lined. They're
I know,
really good.
Très chic, Adam.
Très chic. And it's really hard to find great men's stuff, I have to tell you. So I would stock up on these.
Coming from a
truly.
man himself, I trust you.
Yes.
Let's do this.
I have these. Normally they're $119.
Nice.
The deal today, they are $40 each.
Well, that's a
$40 each.
So these are like they're sturdy.
No, they are sturdy. They're great. Really great.
Oh, I love Murad.
Murad skincare, the best out there. Totally fantastic. It really targets specific skincare concerns, clinically proven. Oh, look, you're going to try it all on.
I'm not going to waste an opportunity.
I know. Whether you want to use it for cleansing, moisturizing, great for adult acne, great for age spot lightening. I'm telling you, they have everything.
But it's a set when you buy it, or is it?
No, they have some sets, or you could buy everything individually. Really good stuff. The prices normally are $22 to $82. Today they're going to be $9 to $41. And free shipping.
That's a huge deal. Murad is one of the best skin brands.
It's
I
one
love
of the best.
them.
Okay. I brought back yummy shapewear.
I love you.
I know you love it. The audience loves it. Okay.
I need to feel this.
You have to feel it. We have their new cotton shapewear. It hugs you without squeezing your body because this is everyday shapewear.
Yeah,
we have their original nylon. We have their cotton. We have everything from bottoms to tops. But this is the exciting thing. First time ever we have their bodysuits. Everyone wanted it last time I brought it here. We didn't offer it. Now we're offering their bodysuit. So you can get this.
And this stuff is body shapewear is expensive.
Oh, I know. But today it isn't. Normally it's $18 to $68. It's going to start today at $9 going to $34.
You always bring us the best stuff, Adam. A big thank you to Adam Glassman. The clock is ticking. You have 24 hours to grab any of these exclusive deals at viewyourdeal.com, and members of the audience are going home with skincare from Murad and a copy of O Magazine.